Hey all, Tony Bing here, hello and welcome back to another video from Marvel Strike Force. Now with the latest Q&A post from the developers for Marvel Strike Force, we actually have some more information on the Magneto Legendary event, which is coming at the end of the month. Now in order to farm them, if you're a free-to-play player, I reckon it's going to have to be the second time the event comes around, which I believe should be just round about the start of next year. So it's around about every 6 weeks or so the legendary events come round. So if you do miss them first time, it's not an absolute disaster. It's not like back in launch with the Iron Man event when it was several months in between each time the actual event came around. Now in the video, because we have further information on the event, what I'll do is I'll talk about the characters you can actually use for this legendary event, talk about the requirements, and then we'll look at the characters and where you're able to farm them as well, and the best routes for actually farming them. So let's have a look here. As with the other legendary events we've seen so far for the likes of Iron Man and Star-Lord, Magneto, when you unlock them, you will unlock at 5-star, but that means you actually require 5-star characters in order to unlock them. Now the particular type we're looking at here is X-Men and Brotherhood, so we don't have X-Force or Mutant, so sadly that excludes Cable and Deadpool, who a lot of players probably have. If it was to include them, it would potentially be a bit too easy to unlock them, considering he is a legendary character. Now if we look at the characters that are included, it's 6 in total. So we have Wolverine, Storm, Mystique, Juggernaut, Pyro, and also Sabretooth as well. Now what we'll do is we'll then break down these characters, where you can farm them, and realistically if you're a free to play player, where you should be sitting at with them, and if you're a paid player, not necessarily a whale, but let's say a dolphin or a salmon like myself, then you could see, is it possible that we can actually get them to 5-star for the event in the next few weeks. So if we look at the breakdown here, firstly you have Wolverine, and this is the simplest one that just about everyone should have if you've been playing for quite some time. You get him from daily rewards. Personally my Wolverine's at 7-star. Only recently upgraded them to 7-star and actually had something like an additional 500 shards on top of that 7-star, so it got me a ton of Ultimus Orbs and I'm getting closer and closer to unlocking him. We then have Storm. Now when she first came out, she had the event campaign. She's been in Blitz quite a few times. It's maybe as many as 2 or 3 times she's been available in that, if not even more than that. And also, closer to the time that Magneto's coming out, Storm will be accessible via Mystique 2.3 as well. So if you're a little bit short from the initial event campaign and from the blitzes as well, you'll have that Mystique node. Now what I'll do, because I think it is a little bit tricky that one, in the next day or so I'll try and put up a video of how you can actually 3-star that particular node. The next character we have is one that's been available for a few weeks now, and it's in the story mode, so it's Mystique. She's accessible via Villains 5.6. I've not actually had any requests to cover that node because I don't believe it is really that difficult, so you should be able to already hopefully have her on farm. I would recommend, if you're looking to get her to 5-star, at a bare minimum you're going to have to do your 2 resets daily on our node, so that would give you 15 different attempts at actually farming her there. The next character we have here is Juggernaut. Now he will be available in an event campaign. From data mines and leaks, we believe it's Mystic characters you will need. That may actually change, but given the fact that Juggernaut himself actually gets his power from a Mystic origin rather than a mutant, that does make sense. He'll also be available in a raid as well, so it's very similar to Venom. Venom was a character that, due to the event campaigns and raids running alongside each other, it was actually possible to get him close to 6-star, so I don't reckon we'll have any trouble at all getting Venom to 5-star, although during the event you will of course want to be spending your refreshes and getting additional energy in there, so that could eat a little bit into any refreshes you're using for Mystique, so a little bit of balancing we will need there. We then have Pyro, and this is the character that's really going to give people a lot of trouble. So Pyro, we've been made aware that he will be available in back-to-back blitzes just prior to Magneto coming out. Now if you're to aim for the top 1500, which is relatively realistic if you've been playing for quite some time and you hit blitz pretty hard, then that would be a total of 212 shards you would get. Now in order to unlock him at 5-star, which is required, you need 310 shards, so you're 98 shards short. Also with this Pyro event, we've been made aware that you will be able to get additional shards through winning fights as well. I'm not clear on how many shards you'll actually be getting, so it may be again that if you're looking to unlock Pyro for the first time, if a pack comes out for him, such as the 23.99 packs that can give you around about 50 or so shards, it may be that you have to actually purchase that there. Now, the final character that I really would say don't bother with at all, unless he hopefully comes to the premium orbs, the same as Loki where you can get up to 180 shards, would be Sabretooth. The reason being, the first time the event comes round, it's only premium orbs he's available in, and I know people that have spent hundreds and have not had a single drop for him yet, and you need to get him all the way up to 5-star, which is 310 shards. So unless you're a whale, you're not going to get Sabretooth at all for this event. Now, after the event, and we've been told this will be roughly about just in the start of the new year, so that is about 5-6 weeks after this one, then we'll actually have a Pyro event running. So Pyro and Sabretooth are the two characters that are harder to farm here and you need to spend a bit of money on. So essentially, if you want to get Magneto first time round, you're going to have to stump up a bit of money. This is one for the whales. If you're looking for them for free to play, then you get them 6 weeks later, which honestly is not that bad a trade-off, I don't believe. But the event for Pyro, this will be an event campaign. What we've been told via leaks and data mine again is that it will require Blaster and support characters, and there's quite a few really good ones in there, so that shouldn't be a problem with anyone. And then finally you'll have a Sabretooth campaign as well to get him up. It's just an event campaign, could be a little bit tricky to get him to 5-star, but he's not necessarily needed because you have 6 characters you can choose from here, and Sabretooth's probably the hardest one to level up. So if we look at Sabretooth, that will be the event campaign, and we've been advised again, subject to change, that there will actually be villains as well you actually need for that. So that's what you would need to aim for if you're looking to unlock Magneto. Now, what we'll do before we actually finish the video, I've managed to collate some information that was floating about in regards to the characters and how their kit may look, so I figured it'd be a bit fun to run over that as well. So we have 3 Brotherhood characters that we don't know the kit for yet because nothing has been released. So the first one is Juggernaut. Now, we've been made aware that Juggernaut should have a very high resist rate. I'm curious if it will be similar to Mystique and that the number's so high that they're essentially immune to that. So he could be stun resist, which is really nice and makes sense for him. He will be a protector class. His basic potentially will grant ability energy, so that could be good for the other characters, and he'll also gain charges, and his ultimate and the damage it does will be based on the number of charges he has. So Juggernaut, in a way, you ramp him up, and again that makes sense for how the character actually is. The next one we look at is Pyro. Now Pyro looks really interesting and really pretty strong. So if we look at what he may offer, firstly we have the fact that he can do additional damage to enemies per the number of debuffs that are on them, and that ties into his kit, we'll see that in a moment. He has the fact that he can gain speed bar when attacked, getting his attacks off more often there, and also he could have the ability to actually flip heals to bleeds on his special, and that would be really nice. And a lot of the actual specific parts of kit that we look at when we see the Brotherhood, it's all about shutting down the shield team and Nick Fury. Now also with Pyro, and this will be relevant if he's looking to flip buffs into debuffs, is the fact that he can gain additional focus if you pair him up with Magneto as well there. If that's the only real synergy between the two of them, then that could be nice. It means that he could also work in other teams, because it would be a bit boring if we're going to have to be stuck to using those 5 characters and can't really drop them in other teams. It's a criticism I've seen come up often, and it is a very valid criticism. The final character we'll look at is the one and only Magneto. Now, on spawn, villains gain a fence up. That's really pretty awesome. I absolutely love that, so that'll be really nice there. You also have the fact that through his ultimate, that I believe is available or should be available early game, it actually pulls all the characters together and makes them all adjacent, so that way if you start firing off some AoE attacks on the likes of Pyro, then it will ensure that it hits the maximum amount of characters. So that's really great there, that combination. Could have blind in his kit as well, and then finally it's looking like at the moment that Pyro will be going after Magneto and before Shield really has much of a chance to do anything. So without a doubt, the Brotherhood is going to be your anti-shield team. How they would perform in the likes of Raid without a healer, not really sure. I think I'll be sticking to my Defenders team that I'm absolutely loving at the moment. I'm actually running them with Miss Marvel in the 5th spot, and it's a whole lot of fun because it's a really quite tanky team with all the heals from Iron Fist, the defence you get from Luke Cage, and then the massive heal you get on Miss Marvel as well. Whole lot of fun that. Now that's everything covered for this particular video, so let me know in regards to yourself if you're going to push for Magneto or you're just going to take it easy and get him the second time he comes round. Hopefully just purely for the fact that still don't have access to the test centre and I've got no communication with the developers at all after 2 months, which is exceptionally poor, and I'm massively disappointed with them. But on the back of that, I'm hopefully going to try and get Magneto the first time round so I can actually do some previews for you all. So let me know anyway in the comments below how you're actually going to try and aim for this event as well, and as always, thanks for tuning in and I'll see you all again soon.